Good day, Sir Cunanan. This is our plate on inclusive design. So, our project tackles four different phases, including the introduction, the storyboard, the preliminary designs, and the final design. So, to start off, let's talk about inclusive design. Inclusive design is about making informed design decisions by better understanding user diversity, which helps to include as many people as possible. User diversity covers variation in capabilities, needs, and aspirations. All users, regardless of whether they have a disability or impairment, benefit from the inclusive design approach as it concentrates on the process of making a design user friendly for the greatest number of people. These include those who have physical, intellectual, visual, or auditory impairments. We aim to provide designs that can benefit everyone, regardless of age, ability, and circumstance.
Product background: Philippines is a country where 70% of the population relies on public transportation from tricycle to jeepneys to buses and taxis. However, for persons with disabilities or PWDs that required mobility aids such as wheelchairs, public transportation is quite difficult as there are not yet enough accommodations made to suit them. This leads to a lack of accessibility and mobility along with the ability to be independent. This also means that wheelchair users would have to spend more transportation in order to accommodate the space taken up by the wheelchair by opting of tax opting for taxis, semi-private service like Grab or even acquiring a private vehicle.
So for the target market, in the year 2010, census estimated that PWDs make up 1.57% or 1.44 million people of the Philippines population. However, the more recent 2018 statistics of the United Nations propose that 10 to 15% of any given population may be PWDs in the need of assistive technology to help them in their daily lives. As the Philippines has a population over 110 million, this means that there may be around 15 million Filipinos living the varied levels of disabilities. There are more people who need wheelchairs than what most people expect. And wheelchairs are not only used by those with mobility impairments but also for the elderly, those who suffer from chronic illnesses, those receiving treatment such as dialysis, and those who are temporarily disabled such as fractures.
For the product operation, the conductor must unfold the ramp and secure it with the locks. After the wheelchair user has entered the e-jeepney, they are strapped in with a seatbelt and their wheels are locked so they do not roll along with the movement of the vehicle. The ramp is then unlocked and refolded, the doors closed, and the route of the e-jeepney is continued. The conductor shall also assist the wheelchair user to disembark from the e-jeepney.
So, we created a storyboard to explore the scope of our project and to provide solutions to possible issues. So, the first issue is the entry and exit of the wheelchair, which is solved by adding the ramp. The second issue is that PUVs are usually very crowded, as 70% of the population are commuters. So, this is solved by designating an area for the wheelchairs. The third issue is the safety inside the vehicle, which is solved by installing seat belts and adding a friction pad to prevent the wheels from moving too much.
So, for our preliminary designs, before choosing Egypt as the primary vehicle for this project, we also explored ideas with tricycles and buses as they are the two main public transportation that we can transform to become wheelchair friendly. After considering a few things like the practicality and feasibility of the project, we decided to use electronic jeeps or modern jeeps. So, here's our manual rendered EG.
Doing the actual model, we used cardboards for the overall body of the e-jeep since this material is more flexible. For the doors, we made it folding doors to see the interior of the model. For the wheels, we recycled the wheels from a toy car to give it a more realistic look. And for the interior, we used foam boards to assemble the chairs and sticks for the place people with wheelchairs are going to be placed.
Let's proceed to our digital model. We used SketchUp to create this digital model. To construct wheelchair ramps including steel, our gross vehicle weight is 4,970 kg, carrying capacity is 26 passengers. Overall dimensions are length 6,215 millimeters with 1,780 millimeters, height is 2,860 millimeters, and wheelbase are 3,405 millimeters. This is product in use. This presentation was made by Group 4. I'm Erika Abe.
I'm Kyle Cabarloc.
I'm Bianca Fabregas.
And I'm Gian Villanueva. Thank you for listening.